Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order in a moment. If the councillors can take their seats. Thank you. All right, the YouTube is on. Good morning, everybody. I'm Councillor Paul Ainsley. I'm the chair of the Scarborough Community Council. The clerks have told me we have quorum. I'm going to call meeting number 29 to order. Welcome, everybody. Today's meeting is being held by video conference and in person here at the Scarborough Civic Centre in the council chamber. This meeting is also being live streamed online at youtube.com/Toronto City Council Live. For the land acknowledgement, I would like to say on behalf of myself, my colleagues, and our staff that although we may be meeting in different locations today, Community Council would like to acknowledge the land we're meeting on is the traditional territories of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We would also like to acknowledge Toronto is covered by Treaty Number 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. For members of the public, if you're registered to speak at today's meeting, if you can please listen for me to call your name. I'll call the speakers in the order that they appear on the list. The list of speakers can also be viewed online by visiting the Scarborough Community Council page at toronto.ca/council and clicking the speakers box for today's meeting. Excuse me. For my colleagues, just a reminder, all of the agenda materials are on the clerk's portal at toronto.ca/council. Clerk's IT staff are available for members if you need any help with your electronic devices. I also want to remind everyone to please submit and approve your motions by email. Staff are available at scc@toronto.ca to help with motions. At this point, I'm going to ask if there's any conflicts of interest under the Ontario Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Seeing none, can I have a motion to confirm the minutes of our last Community Council meeting on January 13th, 2026? Councillor Mantas, moved by Councillor Mantas. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. I'm going to go through the agenda. Sorry, Councillor Shan?
Add an item to the agenda. Should I do it at the end? Or?
Yep, do it at the end. Yep, we're going to do those at the end. Okay. I went through speakers. So our first item is SC 29.1, 3718 and 3730 Kingston Road. Zoning bylaw amendment. This is a decision report for final approval. We did have some issues with this with the public notice, so I'm actually going to move a motion to withdraw this item and defer to the... Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. So the motion I'm moving is that Scarborough Community Council withdraw item SC 29.1 for 3718 and 3730 Kingston Road zoning bylaw amendment decision report. Approval from the agenda as public notice of the statutory public meeting was incomplete. Sorry? Sure. Me or staff?
Yeah, probably to staff. I wanted to get a better sense of understanding what happened.
The notice wasn't properly distributed to the public.
Which means what?
It wasn't distributed properly.
Right, so was it not prepared in time?
The notice board wasn't put up in time.
Okay,
and
well, that's what I'm trying to understand. A better understanding of that. It's like,
they missed the deadline.
There you go. That's even more important. So that at least the public have a better sense of understanding. So our fault. Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. All in favor of the motion? And that carries. Thank you. Okay. So, sorry, we did have 3 registered speakers for that item: Peter Thatchak, Ron Parkinson, and Mariana Tandick. So just so you know, so we've withdrawn this item so that the public notice can be properly given to the community. Okay, thank you. Number 2, SC 29.2, 2650 Lawrence Avenue East, official planning amendment application and zoning bylaw amendment application. This is an appeal report in Ward 21. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to ask staff just to give us a brief presentation, so I'll hold that.
Okay, so I'm holding number 2 for Councillor Thompson for a presentation. SC 29.3, 17 Bellehaven Crescent, this fence exemption, final report. We have 3 registered speakers, so I will hold that in Councillor Candavel's name. Number 4 is SC 24.4, 1072 McCowan Road residential demolition application in Ward 21, Scarborough Center. Councillor Thompson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I can move the staff recommendations.
Okay. Sorry? You have to pick something, Councillor Thompson.
Do I really? Do I get a prize?
Preferably one of these 3
You get a
recommendations.
prize? So to approve. It's,
Number 3? All
Yeah.
right, Councillor Thompson is,
with, yeah, with no conditions.
no conditions?
No conditions.
Nope, no conditions. Okay. Okay,
This is part of the Metrolinx process
Good.
in terms of,
All
so
in
I just
favor?
want to get it done.
that carries. Good. All right. Number 5, SC 29.5, 1505 Danforth Road residential demolition application, Ward 21, Scarborough Center. Councillor Thompson,
Yes, the same, Mr. Chair,
You
as
need
the
to-
previous.
same motion.
Yep.
Number 2. All in favor? That carries. SC 29.6, 777 Victoria Park Avenue, construction staging area, Ward 20, Scarborough Southwest. Councillor Candavel?
I'm moving an amendment to defer this for staff to work with our office and the immediate residents.
Okay. Any questions of the mover? Okay, all in favor? That carries. SC 29.7 Faircroft Boulevard, traffic calming or speed humps in Ward 20, Scarborough Southwest. Councillor Candavel? Councillor Candavel is moving the recommendations. All in favor? That carries. SC 29.8 Fallingbrook Road, traffic calming or speed humps in Ward 20, Scarborough Southwest. Councillor Candavel?
I'll move, I don't know what the language is, but I'll
There's
amendment
on the screen.
to install it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of the mover? All good? All in favor? That carries. SC 29.9 Nantucket Boulevard, parking amendments, Ward 21, Scarborough Center. Councillor Thompson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With great degree of conversation and convincing, we are moving ahead with this in order to facilitate the needs of our workers to clear snow in the wintertime. So that's the purpose of this. So, yes, I'm moving the staff recommendation.
Councillor Thompson's moving staff recommendations. All in favor? That carries. SC 29.10 St. Andrews Road, traffic calming or speed humps in Ward 21, Scarborough Center. Councillor Thompson?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will move the recommendation.
Councillor Thompson's moving the recommendations. And number 10, all in favor? That carries. SC 29.11, Wetherby Drive, traffic calming or speed humps in Ward 21, Scarborough Center. Councillor Thompson.
Keep them coming. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Love those speed bumps now.
All right,
Thank you,
all in
Mr.
favor of number 11? That
Yes.
carries. SC 29.12, Brimorton Drive and Amberjack Boulevard, always stop control in Ward 24, Scarborough Guildwood. I will move the recommendations. All in favor? That carries. SC 29.13, reopening of item SC 28.24, Waldock Street parking zone adjustments. All in favor to reopen? That carries. Do I need to add as? Now moving the recommendations. All in favor of the recommendations? That carries. SC 29 point. Sorry, we did 13. We're on to 14. SC 29.14, Upton Road Parking Amendment in Ward 20, Scarborough Southwest. We need to move this as an item of new business. All in favor of adding this to the agenda? That carries. Councillor Cannavale, did you want to hold this down, or did? Councillor Cannavale is moving the recommendations in number 14. All in favor? That carries. SC 29.15, Stornoway Court, parking adjustments in Ward 25, Scarborough Rouge Park. Councillor Chan, I need a motion from you to introduce this.
A motion to introduce 29.5 Stornoway Court.
Motion to introduce. All in favor?
29.5.
That carries. Councillor Shan's recommendations. All in favor?
And sorry,
Oh, you want to amend?
Yeah, amend it. Can I do that? or
Okay.
No.
We'll
We'll come
come
back.
back to
We'll hold
that.
it and come back.
We're going to come back to it. SC 29.16, changes to the Cedarbrae Markham Lawrence Business Improvement Area Board of Management, Ward 24, Scarborough Guildwood, which is my newest BIA. Putting this forward to add new members to the executive. All in favor of adding this as new business. The recommendations, the people are listed there before you. It's been approved by the BIA, so I'd like your support. All in favor? That carries. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, I have to add an item to the agenda as well.
I have it on the desk. Thank you. SC 29, we don't have a number yet. It will be SC 29.17, Morningside Avenue corridor review, moved by Councillor Shan in Ward 25, Scarborough Rouge Park. I need a motion from Councillor Shan to introduce it. All in
Motion to
favor?
introduce.
And then the item. Okay, and then we're going to hold it until later so
Yeah.
everybody can read it. So I'll hold that in Councillor Shan's name. All right, we are back to number 3. All right, our first item with deputants is SC 29.13, 17 Bellehaven Crescent. This is a fence exemption report in Ward 24, Scarborough Southwest. I have 3 registered speakers, Christopher Birch, Ann Inberg, and Stephen Inberg for the deputants. So the way this works is you have 5 minutes to address community council. The microphone's up here, or you can do that online. After that, each member of council has up to 5 minutes to ask you questions. Once we've heard from all 3 deputants, we move it back into committee, as we call it, where each member of community council, if they so choose, has up to 5 minutes to ask questions of the staff. After that, each member of community council has up to 5 minutes to address community council if they so wish. So, saying all of that, our first speaker is Christopher Birch. Okay, thank you, Mr. Birch. Any questions of the deputant? Nope, seeing none. Next, I have Ann Inberg and Stephen Inberg. Morning, sir. Sorry, Ann goes first. Ladies first. Jump in the queue. Good morning. You have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
He's mansplaining. This does represent, as Mr. Birch has pointed out, significant concessions on the part of the neighbors. However, the changes are acceptable to us.
Yes, real quick, if what we agreed with the counselor and I guess our neighbor now, if that's agreeable, then I really don't need to speak. I have to see kind of like the final agreement, because I can come into a long speech or a short speech. Right now, if what's proposed is agreeable, then we're agreeable to it also. Okay?
Can you make a comment, just appreciation? Or maybe I can do that when it's, yeah. No, I just want to thank Stephen and Nancy for the collaboration over many, many months to bring this to a resolution, albeit we still have to see it in a year from now with the amendment. But I wanted to just, for public record, appreciate the tremendous work, of course, including Andrew from MLS and the neighbor at 19 to reach this resolution, touch wood, and to showcase the power of collaboration and the tremendous work over many kitchen table conversations. So thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cannavale. Thank you very much to the deputations. We're going to bring it into committee. Questions of staff? No questions of staff. Speakers? Councillor Cannavale, it's your ward.
If we can present the amendment to the report. This is, as I spoke to after many, many months from conversations with the two neighbors, led by my chief of staff and myself to bring, with the help of Andrew Olick from MLS, to a resolution that has significant compromises and concessions that will enable the spirit of the bylaw to be upheld, as well as work and especially as we engage with the Cliff Crest guidelines that were approved by council to begin that work. This is in the light and spirit of of the work before us. So I want to thank everyone involved to bringing this to a conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cannavale. Questions of the mover? All in favor of the motion? That carries. I'm just going to go back quickly to number 12, Councillor Thompson, before we do number 2. I need a motion to reopen. Sorry, I'm moving a motion to reopen number 12. My wording should have been authorize the always stop sign and not the recommendation in front of it. So a motion to reopen. And then I'm moving a motion that's going to authorize the always stop sign. All in favor? And that carries. Thank you. Now we're back to number 2, SC 29.2, 2650, Lawrence Avenue East, official plan amendment application and zoning bylaw amendment application. This is an appeal report in Ward 21, Scarborough Center, and Councillor Thompson asked for a short presentation from staff. Christian, do you have a short presentation from staff?
Yeah. If you could just provide screen sharing for Bram Bulger.
There we go. Through the chair, maybe I can get started. Thanks, Councillor Thompson, for the opportunity to speak about this report. It's regarding 2650 Lawrence Avenue East, the official plan amendment application and zoning bylaw amendment application appeal report. So we currently have an appeal in front of us for both applications on this site. Just in terms of some background, on November 30th, 2022, a zoning bylaw amendment application standalone zoning bylaw amendment application was submitted for a portion of the site to permit development of a 25-story building, residential building, and a 35-story mixed-use residential building, each with an 8-story podium and a shared 3-level underground parking garage and a public park on a portion of the site. The application was subsequently revised. There was a bit of time between in August 2025, increasing the proposed heights to 33 stories and 43 stories, along with an associated increase in unit count and gross floor area. Previously, there was a public park that was, in their initial submission, a public park proposed along Midland. Through the resubmission of the zoning bylaw amendment, that proposed park was deleted. A separate official plan amendment application was submitted on August 13th, 2025, concurrently with the revised zoning bylaw amendment application. The proposed amendment would apply to the entirety of the official plan amendment would apply to the entirety of the site, of the lands, including the cello fresco that's there now, the TD building. While, if you go back to the last slide, the zoning bylaw amendment, if you can see on your screen, showing the scope of the, yeah. As you can see on the screen, you can see the scope of the zoning bylaw amendment is just a portion of the site to the southwest. And then the official plan amendment would apply to the entirety of the property. It's bound by Midland, Broccoli, and Lawrence. On August 20th, on January 13th, on August 20th, 2025, the applicant appealed shortly after making the resubmission their zoning bylaw amendment application to the OLT for City Council's failure to make a decision within the prescribed timelines in the Planning Act. And then on January 13th, 2026, the applicant appealed their separate official plan amendment application to the OLT as well to consolidate both appeals due to the city's failure to make a decision. In terms of the key issues that are in the report, there are a number, but at a high level. Go to the flood hazard one. As you can see on the screen, part of the site is located within the TRCA regulated area, and is located within and adjacent to the regulated storm floodplain associated with the Highland Creek watershed. In accordance with the Conservation Authorities Act, a permit is required from the TRCA prior to any development or site alteration taking place, at a minimum including site alteration, filling, grading, construction of buildings. TRCA staff, we've been working with them, have noted that the proposed development is partially located within the flood hazard. So as you can see from the map on the screen, and the development is also within the required setbacks in the city's official plan. The official plan requires that areas within the floodplain only be used for activities that, among other criteria, do not result in unacceptable risk to property or life, and that development is set back from locations within flooding that presents a significant risk to life and property by at least 10 meters. The proposal and the appealed development is within both the floodplain and the required buffer. And that's why the official plan amendment has been made by the applicant and now the appellant, is to seek relief from the official plan requirement to build within that 10-meter buffer. Another key issue is that the zoning bylaw amendment application is scoped to only a portion of the subject site without considering how the remainder of the lands would develop over time. So as Bram is showing you on the screen right now, as we went over, the zoning bylaw and what's proposed is only for the southwest portion. The scope of the zoning bylaw amendment and the appeal will result in the demolition of existing bank and a portion of the existing larger commercial plaza. However, no details have been provided regarding how the remainder of the plaza would redevelop, if there'll be a park, how site circulation would work on the remainder of the property. So it's one of the issues that that staff have with the proposal, and hopefully it can work out through the appeals process. So we're trying to ensure that there's proper and orderly development of the entirety of the property. Another matter is the city has recently approved updated policies to our avenues policies in the official plan and Lawrence is an avenue that states that development along an avenue should be mid-rise, generally mid-rise in scale. What they're proposing is not a mid-rise building. So we will be working the bill form. The current bill form, setbacks and height are other issues that staff have with the proposal that we're looking to raise at the OLT. Other issues also include the provision of parkland to have an orderly development of the site and ensuring that there's sufficient community facilities and services for existing residents and the new residents that will be introduced into the surrounding area. And then in terms of servicing, ensuring that there's sufficient and appropriate servicing for the proposal of both of the entirety of the site, which we don't have complete details over, and then ensuring that the wind impacts created by the proposed development is safe and any uncomfortable conditions can be mitigated.
A nod of we're done? Yes, okay, thank you. Questions of staff? Councillor Thompson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you to staff. So I get the TRCA requirement and so on, the requirement for a permit. But if you put the map back up, the one that basically showed the site and basically showed the floodplain, currently now at the corner there where the little dot is and the line is, there's a TD bank there, correct? Additionally, the green section, it is completely green, but it is completely populated by building and development. So help me in terms of the disconnect, because we're saying on one hand, hey, you can't do this because it's a floodplain. On the other hand, obviously before all of you started working here, a lot of development has taken place there. So what's the objective here? Is there a 100-year flood that's gonna take place that we don't know about? That's gonna basically be significant just to that portion of the land, or are we concerned on the west side?
Through the chair, the green layer on screen is both the floodplain and the regulated area sort of combined.
Yeah.
There would be a concern if the development on the west of Midland between Highland Creek and Midland came in today under the current policy framework, there would be a strong concern in that regard. And that building may have flood mitigation features put into it that carried the day at the time
Right.
of its development. As it relates to the subject site, the official plan amendment, as my colleague indicated, is to remove any obligations of this particular site to comply with either location, flood protection, locating the building to make sure that it is properly mitigated, or responding to the to this particular map. In other instances, including last community council where we had development adjacent to West Highland Creek, a very detailed level of analysis was undertaken to basically ground truth the flood line and the floodplain, which in this case the applicant has chosen not to do.
Right.
Instead, they're trying to get out of the policy altogether via official plan amendment.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, because it's really what I wanted to draw from you to explain this is not unique, right? It isn't a situation that is just being focused on the applicant alone. I mean, where similar adjacent property exists, we would ask for a similar sort of feedback and plan to help us instructively to be able to have a better sense of understanding, right? And then help me to understand this. So they want to give a partial plan for a portion of the site and not the complete site. And we think it's better for us, particularly as an avenue, to have a site plan that sort of congruent with respect to the site itself.
That's correct, Councillor, and through the chair. The zoning bylaw amendment is only for a portion of the site, as I mentioned, and which demonstrates, or they're proposing two buildings, two tall buildings, but the remainder of the site, they're maintaining predominantly the fresco building, but there's no clear understanding from the applicant's side of how the remaining of the development would build out, or what the proposal is for the remainder of the site. You know, if there's another park being proposed closer to Broccoli, or how the internal circulation would work for cars and pedestrians. So what we're asking for, and I think what consistently staff have been asking the applicant to do, is provide us with a clear picture of how, and propose development for the entirety of the site. Just help us understand what the phasing is. We can work with them on the phasing.
And it isn't that you're asking them when they're actually going to develop. You're essentially asking,
We're asking them,
you
yeah.
show us how the site's going to look,
Correct.
right?
How is it going to look, and how is it going to develop over time, and to ensure that the use is trying to strongly encourage them to reintroduce some of the uses that are currently on the site, especially the retail, and considering the updates to the avenues policies, having that built form, and having a more active retail. And
So just a couple more questions, because I know
Sure.
I'm past my 5 minutes. So they're appealing to the OLT because they say that we failed to respond in a timely fashion. The need of it for information for us to assess and respond, was that available?
Through the chair, the information submitted met the threshold for completeness. Basic.
Yeah.
We provided comments on that within the requisite timelines, but we're expecting some pretty major revisions to that. And we did not see that for 2 years. And then when they came in, as my colleague indicated, the buildings got taller, denser, the park went away, and then a week later it was appealed.
So just one final question, Mr. Chair. I know it's 5 minutes. So how is it that it's our fault, given the fact that the timeline in terms of them not responding in order to give us appropriate time to respond back to their non-responsive nature, and yet it is now our fault? They can go now to the OLT and appeal it and say, by the way, we're going to remove the park. By the way, we're going to add an additional 8 stories here, another 8 story here. How's that fair from a provincial policy statement? And I'm just wondering, is that something that you grapple with on an ongoing basis? Because it always seems that it's the city's fault or the planning fault.
Last question.
That's my
Councillor.
last question. Thanks, Chair.
Through the chair, I'll try to answer without assigning blame, because the provision of the act that they're relying on is a failure to decide. Basically, that council failed to make a decision under the required timelines. While we grapple with this on a daily basis, one of the reasons for the transformation of our process has been around making sure that the information is properly submitted and in order prior to beginning work on an application. And also, we're able to work collaboratively to ensure that development comes in and is not far apart from what the policies would expect. In this case, neither was true. The application was basic in its submission. It took a while to be deemed complete. And then in response to major issues, we did not see a response for a period of years, and thus did not get a chance to initiate other components of the process because we were waiting on fairly fundamental questions to be answered.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to better understand the point Councillor Thompson raised, that there is development in the northwest corner, obviously decades ago. If I understood correctly, they built under certain provisions that remediated the flood concerns? Is that the context for why they were given permissions? Or just there was a lack of policy?
Councillor, through the chair, I'm not sure I can answer with a level of precision without looking back to it, but if I were to speculate, it would probably be the policy framework at the time, the provincial policy framework, maybe even the municipal policy framework may have had a different threshold for sensitivities. Also, as as climate change and different factors have exacerbated flood limits have increased over time. So referencing the Calgary Court application from last week, the TRCA is constantly updating its flood protection modeling, and it may have widened over time because the 100-year, 300-year storm that they model is getting worse over time.
Okay, so hence why it's stricter provisions for this site.
Through the chair, the policy frameworks, the provincial policy frameworks have become stricter. The modeling has become more advanced, but all of this
Gotcha.
needs to be caveated with, I'm speculating,
Yeah.
we were not here.
And TRCA was that part of why staff was in opposition?
Through the chair, we've consulted with the TRCA, and there is a way through the policy framework to work with the physical modeling to potentially widen a culvert, create berming, flood mediation such that that green line could get closer to the creek.
Okay.
But again, that work was not done here. The applicant instead was looking to amend the policies to remove their applicability to the subject site.
Gotcha. And in terms of the height, was staff's position that it's an avenue, so it's mid-rise, as opposed to what they were looking for a tower context?
To the chair, partially correct, Councillor. The avenues policy speak to having mid-rise form along the avenue. What they're proposing is a tower, so we're looking for bill forward changes, and it has been appealed. So if there's an opportunity through mediation or anything, we would try to work with the applicant to see if there's changes that could be proposed to allow for the lower heights along the avenue.
Okay. And with the park, was the previous commitment to the park by virtue of parkland dedication? And what was their context to remove it?
Through the chair, there was a dedication proposed that would have had frontage on Midland towards the northwest corner of the site. The Parks and Recreation Division at the time was supportive of that proposal. My colleague can just sort of highlight where it was supposed to be. The choice to delete the dedication from the current iteration of the application was one made by the applicant. Parks Planning does not support the deletion of the park.
Was that, as it was by virtue of the parkland dedication, are they not mandated to have that if it's by policy?
Through the chair, Section 42 would mandate a parkland levy be met, and if the city elects or prefers that to be done via dedication, that would be a requirement, and that's what I think we would.
So they had a choice whether they pay the money or give the parkland on site. Is that?
They have to meet a dedication requirement. The choice is not the applicant's to make. If the city would request land to be dedicated, then that would be how the Section 42 requirements would be met. If the city elects to take cash in lieu of land dedication, that's how the parkland dedication policies would be met.
Okay, gotcha. And in this case, what is the staff request? On-site parkland?
Parks Planning continues to request on-site dedication, and the site is positioned such that it should be something that can be accommodated, and is one of the main concerns that my colleagues here have highlighted in the report before you, that the overall picture of the site is unclear. They're, for example, on screen also proposing private driveway access, private drive, private servicing. These are all questions that we've been asking for a while and have not received satisfactory answers on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cannabell. Other questions of staff on this item? Seeing none, speakers on this item? Councillor Thompson?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, I'll move the item and thank the staff for really good work. I think it's a challenge when you're trying to expand and growing an area in the community and it's uncertain. The applicant, they're known organization with a good track record. I don't know what is the sort of situation here, why it seems to be marred in this element of gamesmanship. I'll use that word quite frankly because I don't know what else it is at this moment unless I'm told otherwise, because staff are prepared and willing to work with them. I think it's really important for us to look at sites in their totality when we talk about advancing development and so on, and whether or not the development is, you know, short-term, mid-term, long-term. Fact of the matter is that you could still have a plan to develop, irrespective of, you know, the nature of the development. We've seen it along the Golden Mile. We've seen other situations where we've been able to work those through. It does concern me largely with applicants who play the OLT game, because it seems that it's the OLT game that's being played. And I don't know why. Again, I have no understanding, but it's disconcerting that, you know, the area has changed. Orshenko Park, which we, for 50 years, have been trying to get a park in the area and not enough land, and, you know, it's been a challenge for those residents directly located. Yes, we negotiated a number of years ago where the school board actually gave me an extra acreage of land through negotiation when we're dealing with Bendale and Thompson, and we bought a piece, and we are going to add daycare and new housing and so on. There's a lot of development that's taking place. My point being is that we have actually been paying attention to the area, the needs of the area and so on. And so this is a golden opportunity for an applicant like this to come in. And clearly, we also want to make sure going forward that people are going to be able to shop on site. We don't want this to be a deserted area where it becomes a wasteland where it's just people living. We've had the Freshco there, and maybe, I think when I was a kid, it was Savettes or something like that. It's been there like forever. Towers? Yep, maybe Towers as well. Yeah, maybe that, whichever. But there was something there that provide services to the community, and we don't want to have this type of development without actually having services and implementation that would help the community. I'm not sort of nerved by 33 and 43 numbers in an avenue. I understand the policy, but what I also understand is that we have a new subway that's going to be, I don't know, let's say 2,000 meters away, maybe it's 15, I don't know what the exact measurement is, but it's going to be in McCowan and Lawrence. We have the BRT coming through, which provides access to people coming home and so on and so forth. And I don't know when this development is going to take place. But I'm a little concerned, though, that that when these types of applications come in, it lacks the necessary amount of information to allow our staff to be able to effectively make decisions that could be helpful to applicants. Because, I mean, part of your job is to work with an applicant and to work with the community, work with the local councillor and so on. Everybody understands their role. And so it's unfortunate when, you know, there's inability because of lack of scaling and understanding as to, hey, what are we going to do here? How are we going to do it? How are we going to place people? Where are they going to recreate? Where are they going to park? Where all these things are going to take place and so on and so forth. So it's really unfortunate. And as you say, the proposal is, I understand the massive nature of it, what's being proposed and so on, and it could be negotiated in a way that becomes much more positive for the community. We're dealing with a whole series of them along Lawrence Avenue. We dealt with a couple of weeks ago, 2130. We've got 2180. We've got all of these things that are taking place and so on. And reasonable people have come forward with a reasonableness of wanting to approach a solution. And I find it rather disconcerting that in this case, that's not where we are. And I understand the rights of landowner to appeal to the OLT and the OLT to take the matter on and us to respond. But I do think we could have done better. And I know that rules are changing for flood and so on and so forth. God knows we've seen enough flooding in the last little while, more than we had anticipated and so on. So thank you for the work and thank you for the explanation. I just wanted us to have a brief discussion here on this issue today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Other speakers on this item? Seeing none. So we have the recommendations before us. All in favor? That carries. And our next item is SC 29.15, Stornoway Court Parking Adjustments in Ward 25, Scarborough Rouge Park. Councillor Shan, you had an amendment to your recommendation?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have an amendment to change from both sides to just the south side for that. So if that's on the screen.
Okay. All right.
I
Any
moved-
questions of the mover? Seeing none, all in favor of the amendment? Do we have to do item as amended? Nope. Nope, we're all good. Okay, thank you. Our next item is SC 29.17. Morningside Avenue Corridor Review. This was one of our new business items. There's a letter from Councillor Shan that he's been introduced. Does anybody have any questions of Councillor Shan on this item? Councillor
Nice.
Shan, did you want to speak?
Yeah, if it's possible.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks to Deputy Mayor Paul Ainsley's office, we were able to work together on this because Morningside Avenue, half of Morningside Avenue, we share on both sides as councillors, and north of 401 Morningside Avenue falls within my ward all the way up to McNichol and possibly, hopefully, up to Steele, but hopefully up to Steele. Just south of McNichol, up to the Hydro Corridor. So this avenue has had serious amount of strain due to increased traffic, as many people who live in the eastern part of this city would know. There are a number of intersections on Morningside that have had fairly significant amount of accidents as well as traffic-related issues. Scarborough campus, Pan Am Center, a couple of high schools, actually many high schools on the way, and Morningside, Kingston, and Lawrence corridor, that triangle adding, and then the new addition of a bus lane as well. So a number of changes have happened, number of strains have been placed, and the population, including those coming from the 905 using Morningside to get onto 401, has increased the amount of stress. So worked with the staff. The initial motion, we had a lot more specificity. Now it's kind of a broader corridor review, worked together with the staff on this. The only thing that I've added after talking to Councillor Ainsley's, Deputy Mayor Ainsley's office as well, to be able to put a timeline to have a report back in Q3 of next year. It's important to have a timeline for us to be able to come back and review this. So I hope we can get the support of the rest of the Community Council to pass this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Shan. Other speakers on this item? Seeing none, I just want to thank Councillor Shan for bringing this forward. As he said, Morningside Avenue's changed a lot over even the past 5 years. We have red lanes on Kingston Road up to UTSC to help accommodate students attending University of Toronto Scarborough campus, as well as Centennial College. That's taken a lane of traffic away. It seemed to work very well. During COVID, the traffic congestion has really increased along that one lane of traffic each way, in particular in the morning and the afternoon. We see congestion often at Morningside and Shepherd as people are trying to get up into Malvern, kind of the reverse in the morning. Military Trail and Morningside, another key intersection where a lot of people are using it to get to University of Toronto Scarborough. I don't think the turn radius is very good at that intersection, either northbound or southbound. So as all of these issues have come to the forefront, Councillor Shan and I thought it'd be a good idea to have a review of Morningside Avenue and how it's working and integrating into the community and meeting the needs of our respective communities. So I'll be supporting this recommendation as well. Thank you. So we have the recommendation before us in the letter by Councillor Shan. All in favor? That carries. None opposed. And I believe, Madam Clerk, that was our last item of business. Bills? We have bills. Whose turn is it to read the bill? Councillor Thompson?
Sure, Mr. Chair, on your behalf.
I lose track.
No problem. I don't keep track. That bill is 144 to 147 and Bill 184 prepared for the February 19, 2026 meeting number 29 of the Scarborough Community Council be declared as bylaw and passed subject to section 226.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Anybody have any questions of the mover? Seeing none, all in favor? That carries. We have one more. Councillor Shan, would you like the duties on this one?
Thank you. I move that confirmatory bills to confirm the legislative proceedings of the Scarborough Community Council acting under the delegated authority at meeting 29 on February 19th, 2025 be declared as bylaws and passed subject to section 225.9 of the City of Toronto Act 2006.
Any questions of the mover on this one? I hope not. Seeing none, all in favor? That carries. Thank you very much to all of the staff this morning for people attending, both physically and online. I hope everybody has a great day. Meeting adjourned.